sudden curiosity.
Interesting. So a defensive attitude followed by a question.
He rolls his eyes at that. And goes, it's one of those kinds of mornings, is it?
Well, I've been hearing some rumors here and there, and between you and some other of the cadets, and I was hoping they were nothing but rumors.
Leans back with an eyebrow perked. He's genuinely curious. Rumors? These haven't reached my ears. What rumors are these?
Well, they didn't reach your ears, probably because they were about you. But apparently, you and some of the other cadets have talked about something earlier, and these are again only rumors. Well, I don't know for sure. I just wanted to make sure if there was something to them, more or less. You know, if there's anything you need to talk about, you can trust me with them. My mouth is sealed, as ever.
Ooh, out of character, permission to do. I'm guessing it'd be Insight Security or Insight Command, one of the two, into Velik, in a case of, are you bullshitting me? Like, are you actually as trustworthy as you claim to be?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have an applicable focus. Alright, here we go. That's just a straight 2.
Okay.
2 successes.
Do I have anything to sort of defend against that, or is that like a difficulty, or what? How does it work exactly? Is it like D&D, when you have to actually...
Were you opposing it?
Well, obviously you'll only know that after my roll. Otherwise, there's no point in saying.
I think they tend to be like Presence Command, I think, as an opposed roll.
Yeah, it's opposed roll, so basically you have to get
Presence
higher
Command.
than 2. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Presence Command then.
You have to get... yeah, you have to beat his roll, pretty much.
Right. Okay. Would you say the Kolinar talent would be applicable here?
I'm sorry. I don't know what that talent does.
So it's when someone tries to sort of read you or convince you or argue with you, you get a I guess it's a lower difficulty or more of an advantage on them.
Yeah, it's a lower difficulty, but it was so it's just going to be a difficulty 0.
Right. But he got 2, so I suppose that's the opposite difficulty.
If you get more than 2, I mean, you could roll a 1, but the likelihood of that is with a 20-sided dice.
Okay. Let's see what we get. That's a 2.
Ooh, evens.
Evens.
It's 2 apiece.
So evens, then who has the upper hand?
Since Edgeford was the one that was trying to read you, he had the upper hand.
Okay, so Edgeford wins then, in this case.
All right. So what does Soth learn?
Right. Well, you learn that Velik is somewhat concerned about you, and maybe a bit confused.
Okay. And Soth will sort of lean forward slightly, casually, on the bench between them as he wolfs down a little bit more of his breakfast. Says, that's a shame that those kinds of rumours are going around. But I wonder where they started. And he shrugs his shoulders in a case of, maybe that's a mystery, we'll never know. But don't worry, Alec. I am entirely myself. And he sort of, waves a hand semi-dismissively. There's no reason to be concerned about anything, I can assure you of that. If there were, I would certainly seek your help before I let anything get out of hand.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you put my mind at ease, that's for sure.
I always try to do that, Velik. Always. I am actually rather fond of you, and so I quite like it when you actually are in a good state of mind. As that sort of almost too casually.
Vulcans are usually in a cool state of mind, yes. But I appreciate your concern.
He leans back and he cracks a broad grin, and he's wondering about whether or not he's gonna make a joke about an Andorian liking a Vulcan. He decides not to, but it definitely plays around in the front of his mind. And then he gestures at the breakfast, at Velik's breakfast, and says, "Well, all this chit-chat's got you eating a bit too slowly. We'll fit down. You know how it is. They tend to get us out of here in 10 to 15 minutes.
Are you guys having this conversation like within 15 feet of Heinz by any chance? Or no?
Sure.
Okay,
It
then
can be.
you just see Heinz's eyes wide as he stares at you both.
Subtle turn round as he sees that and says, "Oh, Heinz, you have any help?"
Oh, hey, no, I'm good. I'm just eating this, and he kind of dips his spoon into some unidentified brown goop, and he says, "Amazing food." No, I definitely wasn't eavesdropping or anything. I'm just, I'm glad Velik's back from the main campus. That's all, And then he starts wolfing down his food, so his mouth is full, so he doesn't talk anymore.
Off chuckles. As if I was worried about anybody. Oh, sorry, I talked over you there, Z.
No, it's fine. I just said Velik raises an eyebrow. That's all.
Subtle chuckle. And say, "No need to worry about eavesdropping. If I was concerned about people overhearing me, I would hardly be having a conversation in the middle of a canteen. Next time you hear something interesting, you can just join in our conversation." And again, he smiles.
With his mouth full, he just and gives a thumbs up and goes back to eating.
Karava not hearing any of this conversation. She's walking over with one of the new people who have come to the campus. She's basically holding them, just walking with them and just telling them how wonderful this place is. Who's the new person?
Lex.
Lex.
Which is, he's also Bajoran, so that might actually kind of fit.
Okay. She'll tell him all the wonderful all the things, she'll walk over and she'll introduce Lex to Soft and Velik is like, here are two lovely people. Soft, a wonderful Andorian, and Velik, a wonderful Vulcan. I'm from Milan. Look at me.
That's nice to meet y'all.
Ah, nice to meet you too. And Soft sort of slaps the bench next to him in a case of, sit down.
So, here, let me get some food, and goes to check to see if they have any fresh fruit and bread in particular.
Velik nods.
It comes back with whatever he can find. It's fruit and vegetable, maybe some sort of something like porridge or something along with it.
Have you been Soft? Did you enjoy movie night?
Oh, yes. We watched one of those, what did you call them? No, spaghetti westerns. It was quite entertaining. I particularly enjoyed that standoff scene towards the end.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Did you really enjoy it?
How?
I found it rather strange. I did not see how humans enjoy
There was
such
not a
things.
single bit of spaghetti in that western.
I still haven't worked out how he managed to take all the bullets out of the gun without that man noticing.
Or how he ended up with a 6-shooter that had 19 bullets.
Soft chuckles. It's creative editing.
I just didn't show him reloading, that's all.
Which, of course, could have been solved through diplomacy and some incentives.
Like
There was no
cowboy
need for weapons
diplomacy.
at all.
Hey!
Well, that's not exactly diplomacy now, is it?
It's got the word diplomacy in it.
Or the more advanced version that nations do rather than people, and we are very apt to do, and it's clear that he's taking the mick when he says this. Sort of like gestures up generally towards space and says gunship diplomacy.
Ah, yes.
Well, there's times that diplomacy doesn't work.
I suppose that's a human thing again. There's always time for diplomacy. There should never be a reason not to use diplomacy.
What about with the Borg?
Well, are the Borg diplomatic?
I'm sure they could be, but what if they don't want to be?
Have you met a diplomatic Borg in your life?
He thinks for a second. He says,
Records.
not personally, however, they do exist.
Well, if you meet one, let me know. I would like to have a couple of words with them.
But records make mention of them, though they are few and far between, and usually end up leaving the collective.
So they're no
nods
longer
his head.
Borg then.
I think they'd be called liberated Borg at that point.
As for diplomacy sometimes not being appropriate, Lex, you're entirely right. Diplomacy only works so long as both sides are willing to engage. If one person stubbornly refuses to, alas. And he sighs heavily. It's clear he doesn't relish this concept. Ultimately, violence is the ultimate arbiter of all disputes. We all wish it weren't. As Starfleet cadets, and hopefully Starfleet officers in the future, we seek to engage in non-violent solutions whenever we can, of course. Sometimes it's just not possible, and we've got to be prepared for that.
Well, preparing for it is something else than actively seeking it now, is it? Isn't it? And that movie, I am of course still referring to the movie. Diplomacy was almost never sought out. Violence was always the answer.
That's true. And he leans back and nods his head and says, but I think that's what might make it a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heinz is going to say, yeah, that's just fiction. Maybe one day they'll make a fictional-based show all about diplomacy and not jumping into combat. And he shrugs and goes back to eating.
I would love such a show. I would watch it day and night.
But there was one vital element of diplomacy in that film, which was the element of brinksmanship. Still a key part of diplomacy. And even the subtle gestures necessary as part of it in human culture, it seems. And then he leans forward and does the sort of side-to-side Clint Eastwood squint. He's just trying to impersonate that standoff scene.
And working as a team is a diplomatic situation as well.
Oh, is Runa there? No, you're not playing as Runa, are you?
DJ.
Oh, right.
DJ.
Apparently
Yeah.
Johnson just walked up and was like, yeah, diplomacy
Just
is cool.
I agree, AJ.
How does I'm just curious. Heinz is gonna look between, because Velik had just arrived a few days, probably by now a few days before, with a couple new cadets. So he's gonna look between Velik to Johnson and then Soth. I'm just curious, does Soth have any visible reaction to DJ showing up and including himself in the conversation?
If I may, I'm going to propose a difficulty 1 roll upon myself, and if he fails that roll, there will be a subtle, visible reaction.
A composure check, I love it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He passes, but with a complication. That's interesting. So there's no immediate sort of visual cue because he passed the roll. But Soth doesn't talk for about 10 to 15 seconds. He's just concentrating on eating, and he's passing it off as I'm just concentrating on eating. And so it doesn't seem or out of place. But, there's a slight lull in his conversationality as he deliberately takes the opportunity to eat food whilst he gets his mind in order.
Krav will smack you on the back and say, Soph, what's wrong? Just put you on the back, what are you doing? Kind of thing.
Do that, his immediate reaction is don't slap a man whilst he's swallowing.
Velik will give him a glass of water.
Oh, thank you, Velik. Thank you. I think
This
what's
is like
wrong.
smaller bites next time.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was just chewing. Nothing wrong until you decided to slap me.
You should learn to swallow.
Lex just looks over at AJ and is like, do you even need to eat?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Wait, what do you eat?
No, because AJ is an android, isn't he?
Yeah. What do you eat, DJ? Or Johnson, Cadet Johnson, whatever
Normal
you want to
food.
call you. Oh, I didn't know you could, says Heinz. Interesting.
Importantly, what happens when you don't?
Yeah, what happens if you don't?
I don't know.
You never tried to see what happens? Can you taste?
Never tried. I usually get hungry and want food.
Oh wow, so you get hungry? Interesting.
That seems like a bit of a design flaw.
Yeah.
Oh, DJ.
Hmm?
Have you ever tried Groot cakes before?
No? What are they?
It's delicious Bajoran food. Come, I'll take you to the replicator. We'll make some. Even though homemade is much better though. If you tried my granny's Groot cakes, you would be in heaven. And
That seems nice.
she'll take DJ by the hand and hop over and skip over to the replicator and make some Groot cakes.
Yeah, you might even see like the remains of one on my tray.
Yeah.
So at this time, you see a haggard, tall Thiezan come strolling through the door. He's his hair's askew. He's covered in grime, and he looks like just absolutely tired. Comes in, looks at Edgeford's character, kind of nods at him, and walks over to the replimat and orders a bowl of steaming hot chili. He goes and sits over by where Edgeford is, and he says, if I have to clean another energy pylon today, I am going to scream. It's been since 4 o'clock this morning. I heard you guys got orders. Yeah. Hopefully it's some of you guys helping out with the pylons, because this is somebody brought on. Man, somebody had brought on some Ryzen fleas, and you know how those little bastards love energy pylons. It doesn't help that we're on a Cardassian fucking nightmare of construction. I mean, this thing is just horrid. So old. And then he begins to eat his soup.
So we're still on Deep Space Nine?
You shouldn't be. Did y'all...
I thought we were.
No, y'all are in the mess hall. Well, you said replimat, so that should have been a clue to me, but we're supposed to be back at the campus in the Gamma Quadrant. At the end of the last episode, I had said that you guys made it back because you guys were told that everything is okay. I mean, if you want to do it on Deep Space Nine, I mean, either way, you're going to be in the holodeck either way, so We could say that you guys are in the replimat
Yeah.
instead, if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's. I thought we were still at Deep Space Nine, but okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Why do they only have you working on the pylons when it seems to need a larger team? You weren't on a fizzer, were you?
No, well, what happened was I stayed up a little late last night. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to come to the bar and get a little intoxicated. So, yeah, I kind of screwed up. So they're making me kind of pay for it right now.
So you were on punishment duties. Well, if you want to avoid it happening again, I suggest you take your morning food in liquid form, pure nutrients, no enjoyment. Scoff it down as quickly as possible, and then get to your quarters, because otherwise, looking like that, they're going to pull you up on a uniform infraction. Shower and change, quickly.
I can only try, but I have orders to, after, this lovely breakfast that I'm having, I have to go and clean more pylons. This time, instead of the lower pylons, it's going to be the upper pylons. Wonderful, right?
Have fun.
When Soth mentions that, Velik looks at him with like a disapproving look. As a fact, what are you doing?
So Soth sort of catches that look, looks back and appears mildly confused, because in his mind he was just providing useful advice, because this is the sort of thing people get punished about. And not quite sure why Velik disapproves, but he doesn't mention it.
We're cadets, so it's like very frowned upon.
So Velik sort of gets close to Soth and whispers, "You shouldn't advise people when to drink and how to hide their habits. That's not good. Not on duty. Not when everyone's on duty."
Soth looks even more confused by that comment and says, "When did I do that?"
Okay, fine. And Velik continues.
It's like out of character. I genuinely don't know what caused that to be said.
It's by the rules, that kind of stuff. Everything by the rules.
Get it? I'm not quite sure you heard what was said. If you think he was telling people how to hide their alcohol consumption.
Well, it's a small space station. Well, not really small, but And I was out, Quark's bar. Can't help it, man. They got me doing all kinds of crazy shit all the time, and it's just like it's no ending, no stopping. That's why I can't sleep.
Maybe you should go see the doctor about getting some sort of sleep aid. Maybe have some hot tea before bed.
What are they gonna do? Rub some analgesic oil on my forehead and hope that I will sleep? Yeah, I'm good.
What are you doing that's causing you to not sleep?
All the work I've been doing. I mean, repair this, fix that, kill the fleas, go over here.
AJ just walks back and says, "This is really nice. Plus, you look like shit."
Yeah, it probably looked like that because I feel like it.
Oh. You look like it and you feel like it, I can see that.
Yeah, well, my shift will be done around 3 o'clock, and then I can hopefully take a shower to wash off the funk, the grimy power coupling grease. Ugh.
You look like you haven't slept for quite a while as well.
Yeah, that's my own damn fault. Drinking alcohol kind of was hopefully I was trying to get some sleep, but hopefully the alcohol would would help me. But now, not such a good idea. And now that I got caught by security here, maybe I'll take a look at my actions. But right now, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful meal, and whatever awesome adventure you guys are going on is going to be awesome. But for me, I have so many damn pylons to clean. These stupid rice and fleas. I don't think I'm going to make it, guys. But I'll do my best.
Hey, Jacobs, I'll give you a suggestion. Do some exercising. Exercise.
True. I could probably do that. Is there any good martial arts programs that you know of?
No, I think you should ask Salty, because he's a security person.
Soth?
Yep, Soth will nod and say, well, firstly, Thiessen, I wouldn't worry too much. All punishments end, and yours probably has less than 24 hours worth of life in it. You'll pull through, and then everything will be as normal in a couple of days. As for martial arts programs, well, I tend to favour things that are a little bit more traditionally Andorian. Of course, a Hollow program's got nothing on Ushantor combat than the real thing, but yeah, there are plenty of those around, and it can actually be useful to try things from various different cultures, just so you know how they're going to try and stab you.
Yeah, if you want something that's really strenuous, try the Klingon program.
Yeah, I might just do that at this point. That'll really make me want to sleep.
Cravo will suggest, she'll say, you should roll me the martial arts, they're really good as well.
True. Maybe I can learn a little bit of everything. Hopefully it'll get me to sleep, though.
That'd be wise. And then he leans over and kind of does a conspiratorial stage whisper. He's not actually hiding it, it's just for comedy. And he will do, besides, Klingon programs are overrated. More reputation than you think.
True. They were a slippery foe, for sure. At this time, Cadet Thiezon, his communicator badge activates. Cadet Thiezan, please report to Upper Pylon 2. There you will begin your second phase of your punishment. Well, guys, looks like I gotta go. Only 10 minutes to eat food? Jeez.
That's why I say liquid rations.
True.
Fast.
I will do it next time.
Lex will toss him an apple as he's walking away. Be like, "Here, something to go."
I try to catch it, and let me see if I can catch it.
The infamous apple catching roll.
I got a 3 and a 5, so yeah, I catch it. And I bid you gentlemen and ladies adieu. I have to go clean some more pylons. This is ridiculous. Kind of as I'm walking away.
Heinz just leans over and says, "Thank God I'm not the one doing it."
I hope his day gets better.
It will. It'll end.
I mean, the only thing worse than that would be some kind of large-scale conflict out in the depths of cold space, he says. Heinz says.
My parents survived enough of those.
Any particular stories?
Oh, my dad was supposed to meet up. My dad was part of the Marquis years ago before they got destroyed. And apparently he was supposed to meet a ship at one point, and the ship vanished. Never. No. Apparently, part of the crew joined some ship called Voyager.
Chuckles.
Yeah, my dad was supposed to meet up with that ship at one point. My mom got to keep some little flyer that she had when she was in the Resistance. That thing
Oh,
zips.
so what? They were both Maquis?
No. My mom was part of the Resistance here on Bajor. Well, on Bajor.
Ah.
They ended up meeting in prison after everything went down.
He kind of like
Oh,
looks curiously because he's thinking how. It's interesting that they're in the same prison. So what did either your mother do to end up in a? Oh no, I see. Because he was thinking about how they could both end up in a Cardassian prison, and he's just worked it out. And so he then like waves his hand in a case of no, I get it.
Cardassian political prisoners. Thankfully, most of them got released at the end of the Dominion War.
Occupation?
No, during remember the Maquis were destroyed during the Dominion War.
Oh, yeah.
They would have met after that. No, because not all the prisoners were released from Cardassian prisons that they had from the occupation. Tears was apparently pretty enough to catch the eye of some Cardassian gull that didn't want to give her up.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Soth is thinking, oh, this is suddenly not breakfast conversation. Let's move on.
Oh, I would say Krava. She just mentioned her family, like her Bajoran family. Most of them like died during the occupation, but her grandmother and grandfather, they were refugees to Prophet's Landing.
Never
her
been
father
there.
was. Oh, it's a lovely place. Nice farmlands. It's good. It took them generations, but they built a new life for themselves there, so it's all right. My dad was a Romulan deserter during the Dominion War, so some similarities there.
Huh.
I don't know. Should turn this off. What about you? What about you, Soft?
Oh, what about me? You're asking about the family?
Yeah, when you were raised on Earth or something. I don't remember hearing about that.
He chuckles at that.
Might be some.
Says raised on Earth? Absolutely not. Out of character, you might be thinking about one of my other characters. Back into it. Absolutely not. No. I was raised back on the homeworld. I was raised in Andoria. My family, we're one of the older, more noble clans. We trace our lineage right back to the purging of the records. And, well, there hasn't been at least a couple members of my family from each generation who haven't served in some kind of combination of the Imperial Guard, Senate, or Starfleet.
You still have your family's knives?
Absolutely.
I'd love to see those at some point.
Well, they're not here. He sort of like waves around at DS9. They're kept a little more securely than that. I have my own personal ones close by, of course. But yes, my father, he managed to avoid any military service. He was a career senator. His brother, however, did his turn in Starfleet, and as did his father, though his uncle was a senator again. And he sort of, chuckles a bit at that. And he's aware that he's close to sounding like he's bragging about his family, which he's trying not to do.
Would you like to walk in their footsteps? Valak replies.
It's my job to do that.
So it's a family tradition, should you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's a family tradition, and would be dishonorable, borderline shameful, if I allowed my generation to be the one that dropped the torch.
Is that coming from you or from the family?
Us both.
Both.
Yeah, Lex looks over at Soth and is like, "So, there a girl back home?"
He'll perk an eyebrow at that in a case of like, that's an interesting question. And say, oh, not really, no. Yeah, the woman that you're sweet on, I think, as the humans say, from before you go to the academy. But of course, we both knew that the academy would be the end of that. And he shrugs his shoulders. So who knows what the future may bring, but no, nothing at the moment.
Now, always make sure to write home to your family at least every so often.
Of course. I absolutely make sure to do that. I am a strong family man. It is at the core of much of what I do. I imagine that you do something similar with your parents.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while to get a response, though. They tend to be busy.
Yes.
And the Badlands has really bad reception. To say the least.
They're still out there, eh?
Alright, great way to... Now you set up some sensor buoys around your planet, around your system. You know when people are coming before they know you're even there.
Out of character question, at this point in the universe, is that Federation territory, Gardassian territory, disputed territory? What's the sitch there?
Which part?
The Badlands, that's kind of up in the air. That hadn't quite been decided on server.
Yeah, I think the Badlands. I might have to go look at another Roll20 at the map. But
it's kind of neutral territory, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best, answer for that. Because I know it's not Federation, and I know it's not Cardassian.
If anything, it would belong to Bajor, if anything.
Right.
Controversial. Well, in that case, Soth is going to slightly divert away from the whole Marquis thing, because he has opinions on that. But he will say, there is, I've always got a good deal of respect for those hardy pioneer types.
That's always good. And I have plenty of respect for the military family tradition, even though, well, not much beyond about 3 generations in my family. I think we're poets before the occupation.
Yeah, so absolutely nothing dishonorable about poetry. And as for the family name, I benefit from one that is older than our recorded history. He chuckles. But if for whatever reason a family purely depends upon its past, then it doesn't really deserve that luster or honor. It's only really the present generations that matter, and a great family can begin today. You are able to forge one, should that be your wish. And should you have the talent to do it.
You just got to find the right girl first.
That is a useful first step.
At this time, Lieutenant Villar chirps on all of your comm badges. Lieutenant Villar, to all the aforementioned cadets, please meet me in meeting room number 1, on upper pylon number 3.
I guess that's us.
Absolutely. He puts the last piece of food in his mouth and swigs the last piece of drink, stands up, and ready to go.
Lex sticks some nuts and dried fruit in his pocket, snack on as we're walking.
As you guys are taking the turbo lift up, you see told the Ezan, and he's just sitting there covered in sweat and grime, and he's got one of the metal openings of the upper pylon, and he's sitting there scrubbing it with intent. Sweat just dripping down everywhere. He looks up at you guys. Did you guys get orders?
Yep, we're meeting in the conference room upstairs.
Oh, God. I hope I didn't cause this.
I doubt it.
Well, okay. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Absolutely. Only a few more hours to go and it'll all be over.
Yeah, keep reminding me. So as you guys are coming across the steps, or not the steps, but the overhang, the door slides open. Lieutenant Villar is sitting in a chair. There's chairs open to sit in. Welcome, cadets. Please take a seat.
Lex takes a seat at end of the table.
DJ sits right next to Velik.
Corvo sit on the other side of Velik.
Stop pulling him between you. He's mine. No. Soth will take a position that appears to be somewhere near the middle.
Cadets. I apologize for the secrecy, but this mission is definitely one for the cadets to learn and grow from. So, cadets, it is my duty to instruct you on today's mission. You will go to Holosuite number 3. There, you will begin starship combat and command training. Fleet training as well. You will be in command of a Prometheus-class starship and 2 other ships. So, at this point, who has the most command? I need to know the people that have the command. I kind of forgot.
The theoretical maximum for a cadet is command 3, and Soth has 3.
Also has 3.
Anybody else? Because we're going to have to roll for it otherwise.
Lex has a 1, so yeah, no, not for Lex.
Infamous Z.
That's not for Jonathan.
Yeah, I think
Not for Johnson.
Heinz has a 3, if I remember correctly.
Alright, so I'm going to say Heinz and Cadet Corva, roll a D2. Whoever gets lower wins.
Well,
And if you roll the same, keep rolling.
I got a 2, so it's probably Karaba.
What? Oh, what? 1d2, okay. 1d2.
Yep.
If you land on a 2, you gotta re-roll both.
Karava
landed on
1 with a
1.
1.
Alright, so Edgeford, Karava, and Mac are going to be in command of a starship. So, now, who wants to be in charge of the Prometheus? Out of you 3.
As a matter of interest, what are the other 2 ship classes?
You're going to have to roll for it.
Oh, interesting.
What's the Prometheus?
It's the
I only
one
got a
that
2, so wouldn't Heinz
The
be the
Prometheus
best
is
option to...
Sorry, I talked over you, Mac. Carry on.
Go ahead, Mac.
Wouldn't Heinz be the best one instead of DJ?
I mean,
Well, there's 3 people that... Okay, so what's going to happen is there's one ship that's already determined. You're going to have to roll for 2 other ships. So whoever decides to be the first one to take the Prometheus, or I'm going to let you guys roll for him. But if it rolls on Prometheus, then you're going to have to take Prometheus. That's how this is going to work, I suppose.
Soth is,
Okay.
Soth is happy to volunteer if nobody else does. It's admittedly it's a generation or 2 old by this point in the lore, but it's a purebred warship, and so that does sort of like pique his interest.
All right. Well, Cadet Corva and Max Character Cadet, you guys both roll a d6.
I got a 6.
I got a 3.
All right. So, I'm looking at the and Matt.
Yes.
All right. So this.
Oh, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't hear
Can,
what.
can you hear me now?
was.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me at all?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mac, you get the Serpent Bandit. It's a patrol ship.
Yay!
And Lieutenant Corva guy.
Right. Yep.
Hold on a second. Is a colony support ship.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Your 3 ships will go against 3 other ships. If your team wins, you will be granted 3 days of shore leave. If you and your team lose, you will do double ships for 3 days. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask.
Soth will ask, what is the nature of the opposition forces?
Well, that is a very good question. So, you will be going against...
What? Who are we going against?
I don't know.
Fell into silence.
If I'm remembering correctly, it's the 3 other
Yeah.
ships: the Kraken, Inferno, and I forgot what the name of the Nova class is. Basically,
Griffin.
yeah, the Griffin. That's what it was. So 3 Starfleet versus 3 Starfleet.
Yes.
Mm. I was hoping to get the Kraken.
Yeah, those are some OP ships right there. But, you know, it's the slide of the dice, man. So, basically, hold on a second. Let me get back to my notes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going up against them because I have some ideas. depending on what my character's role is, but I have some ideas.
Good. This is a fleet, combat-ready holo program that I made myself. All of you are expected to do your very best. There will be a lot of hard things coming your way. I need you to appreciate the fact that you are in Starfleet, and Starfleet against Starfleet doesn't really happen. It's not like you're facing the Borg. Is there any other questions, cadets?
What role will the rest of us be taking? Which ships are we going to be on?
The ships are your discretion, but the 3 people that have chosen the ships, they will be in command. I expect you to obey orders.
Is this is out of character. Is Karava in charge of, I think, of the USS Civilization?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ship sheets because I'm trying to work out what's our range profile, mix,
Yeah, there's no
etc.
weapons
What are our
on
ships?
it.
Yeah, there's no weapons on it.
I'll start doing that right now.
It looks like the Serpent Bandit is very limitedly armed with phaser cannons, which are short-range weapons. It looks like the Republic, which is the Prometheus class, has got only long-range weapons.
Well, Spectre being
And
short range.
true. And then we'll see what got some kind of a plan.
I'll look at the 3 captains and ask them, well, who wants to pilot?
I think we would all be grateful for a pilot. But he turns around and says, unless anybody sorely wants one, and kind of looks at DJ and says, your ship is the ship that is probably going to be doing the closest fighting. A benefit more from an experienced pilot.
I've been looking at the ship. Looks like you're gonna be needed on my ship.
Okay. So its weapons are correct with only having the phase cannons?
That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
Like an aft
Yeah.
torpedo launcher would probably be necessary in this situation.
And very few Starfleet ships don't at least have a phaser array.
It's true, but like if you've got because the phaser array is the long-range version, because the way it works, at least in this, is arrays are long-range, banks are medium-range, cannons are short-range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going a bit. Let's have a look at our good friend. Yes.
Cadets, it is almost time. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me any questions you would like. What is it? Edgeford has, momentum, because he got 2 successes.
Okay.
And as well as Lieutenant Guy.
Well, I don't know if this is something that he got from the previous question, but effectively he'd be
No.
asking for as much
Was from
detail
your
as...
guys'... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He'd be asking for as much detail as possible about the enemy ships. So I don't know if like using the momentum would give us access to the sheets, or like knowing their weapon loadout, their talent, that kind of a thing.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it would.
Okay, cool.
If you'd like to spend.
That's a very useful thing to know.
Go ahead if you want to ask the question.
Oh,
I did.
Oh, I didn't hear you at all. I'm sorry.
He asked about what the loadouts on the other ships would be and that sort of thing.
Okay, so the character sheet, can you drop it in the chat?
I've made it available for everyone to see. If you can't see it, there might be something wrong with Roll20.
Excellent.
Everyone should be able to see it.
I might need someone with high con. Someone who's good at operating sensors and stuff.
So we're
I'm gonna need it.
we just don't have enough people for everything. So what we're probably going to end up doing is just having, like, for example, my science officer will just run the sensors, and then we'll have like either an NPC do the tactical, or we'll just figure it out, or just roll for the ship, because the ship has tactical ability, to be able to roll for the ship. So, but we're not going to.
Yeah, we'll just roll for the ship. We'll just roll for the ship. Basically, all the other NPCs are holograms, so you can order them around to do stuff, but it's going to be reliant on the ship roll.
Okay, that's gonna result just mechanically in loads of people missing a lot for a very long time, unless the difficulty thresholds have changed, because it relies on a crew member rolling and the ship supplementing their roll.
That's what the captain will do.
Okay.
So, the captain of each.
The way I did it, and I don't know if Tali wants to do it this way, is if, like, for example, the captain will order the tactical officer fire phasers. He'll roll command presence with 2 dice, and then the ship will assist with the weapons and security. And then if that's a success, then phasers have been fired.
Yes, that's kind of what I was getting at too. Yeah. Well, cadets, I believe that will be all. I will see you in 15 minutes at holodeck, or what is it? Holosuite number 3.
Okay.
Dismissed.
As soon as she dismisses us, Heinz walks with you guys to wherever we're going to wait, and first he says it's odd that the doctor is giving this lecture, but the other thing is we need to, and out of character I guess I could say this too, but we should figure out where our people would be best placed. All of our security people are in command, so nobody is going to be able to like fire, physically. They'll have to order a hologram to do it. But we have 2 science officers and 1 con. I think the con person should go to whoever is going to need the most con. So whichever ship has the worst con probably should get the con officer, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
probably.
I was going to say my con is really high, and I have advanced high resolution sensors and advanced sensor suite. I have a lot of that sort of stuff, so maybe, like, I'm basically going to be doing the con stuff, so maybe I should get good con officer.
Yeah, I just looked at the Prometheus, the Republic, or the Prometheus class, and it has a con of 1, so maybe the con officer should go over
that might be the one I need to get on.
Right.
Also, the Prometheus is going to benefit from having a good sensor officer, because and this is me, because I don't know if this is a book accurate Prometheus or if this is a dumb Prometheus, but the Prometheus just in law should be the one with the firepower of this thing, and a sensors officer is useful for targeting firepower, penetrating shields, that kind of affair. So to maximize the advantage of the Prometheus.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's see. Karava, you said you needed a science officer too, right? All 3 ships are going to need science officer. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
My science is 4.
I think the only fair way
My
to
science is 2.
I think the only fair way to do it is, since you got one player character, Edgeford, then just have the other 2 go to the other 2 ships, because even though there's a lot of good talents and stuff, and some of the ships are pretty good at science. Actually, let me check what the Prometheus class is. Sensors 9, science 3, not terrible but not great.
Well, the Civilization has the best science of the 3 ships. The Republic has the second best.
Yeah, looking at the stats, weirdly, the Serpent Bandit is also the heavy hitter. It's got by far the most powerful weapons and the best security rating.
Yeah,
Big thing is you have to actually get close for that.
Yeah, and the good thing about...
Well, not with its quantum torpedoes. Also, hang on.
By the way, all ships now quantum torpedoes standard, just so you guys know. So if your ship says photon, just change it, or let me know and I'll change it to quantum. All ships are standard with quantum now.
Also, hang on. I've just noticed that different ships have got different damage values for the same weapon.
It's probably... Let me check. It might be because of how Roll20 does the character sheets.
The Serpent has a 5 for its damage for its quantum torpedoes, while the other 2 have 3s.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be 5.
And
let me check.
Its phasers are turned up as well.
Yeah, the phaser... Well, the phaser's that's a phase cannon, so of course it would be stronger.
Well, no. Maybe in lore, but in book, all phase weapons are the same, but with slightly different effects at various ranges.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You're absolutely right, Edgeford. That's what I was reading today.
All right, so
a phaser array should have the same damage as a phase cannon, but it just...
Yeah. Different effect.
Well, the big thing with phase cannons, they fire a lot faster than a phaser array can. It takes less time to charge and fire a phase cannon than it does for a phaser array.
Oh, yeah, no, the rules affect that, but they do it with traits and qualities and at ranges, rather than the raw damage stat of the weapon.
So the interesting thing is... So I think we all know that torpedoes do less damage, for some reason, than phasers. Or, yeah, I think that's accurate. But in the character sheets that I've made, it says they're both equal, which is, I know is not true. Unless something in here gives it that power. I don't know what it would be. It says that both phasers and torpedoes have a 3 damage rating. I'm pretty sure phaser arrays are 4.
Well, yeah.
Actually,
Well, then the cannons have got category of close and increased weapons damage by 2 effect, banksing. So no, cannons do have a higher damage rating, but I think it's only due to the closeness of weapons.
That is weird.
Okay, right.
I think I'm just going to have to go through manually and change
So no,
everything.
Yeah, arrays do less damage than cannons, but they've got more traits and effects, which aren't in the sheet.
But the thing I'm wondering about is quantum torpedoes, because I know they have the same kind of thing where they have more things than photon torpedoes, but I don't know.
So for torpedoes, maybe found plus 3 to threat, blah blah blah. Okay, so quantum torpedoes, recent development, more powerful than photon torpedoes.
Okay.
They have a base damage of 4,
okay,
an effective vicious 1, with the calibration and high yield qualities.
Okay. Interesting. Phaser cannons are supposed to be higher by 1 as well, right?
No, higher by 2.
Oh,
Banks higher by 1. Arrays lowest, but arrays have got more flexibility. They can do stuff like give area effect to their weapons in a way that cannons
Right.
and banks can't.
Okay, so whoever can check the Kraken. The Kraken has the most weapons. Can you guys make sure that the weapons on there are accurate, and then I'll just change it based on that.
Okay, so Kraken, phaser array 4, and then it is. Oh no, okay, no, arrays are medium weapons now as well. Okay, so it's going to put it in qualities even though it's not a quality. So then medium.
Yeah, if anything needs to be
No,
edited-
arrays and banks. Yeah, arrays and banks are both medium. I'm just checking at 254. But
Okay.
banks do more damage. Arrays have more effects. It's strange.
Gotcha. I mean, it makes sense to me. I just didn't like when I made the character sheets. As soon as I finished making them, well, not as soon as, but I didn't double check any of this stuff. I just started putting it in. So
Yeah, and some of this stuff. Now. Okay, so that's fine for quantum tools. For vicious 1 high yield calibrated and tractor oak phase cannons up at close.
all right, I just changed all the damage ratings. They
Yeah.
should be the same now, or consistent. Maybe not exactly right, but they should be consistent. I didn't change the qualities because that's just way too much crap. If you're doing that, you can finish through that. So I put Heinz on the civilization because I think a science officer needs to be on the civilization for sensors. Do we want to put Velik? Velik, do you want to be on the small fighter ship with the other science officer who's the captain? Or do you want to be on the Prometheus class?
Doesn't the Prometheus
have? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I think we're asking the
Doesn't
same
Prometheus?
question.
Yeah. Doesn't Prometheus already have somebody on there?
Yeah, a
Or
con
not?
officer.
Or science.
I was just making sure that we're putting people where we want them to be because the Republic's con is the worst. So they definitely need a con, but their sensors aren't great either, and they do not have any sensor talents. So I think Velik should be on the Saber class. But if you guys, if it's a majority rules and you guys think that he should be on the Prometheus, then go right ahead.
Oh, I just looked at the Kraken. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like my idea earlier, what Heinz was saying was like focus on movement. Like don't even try to attack, like a direct head on. Just take out the Nova class, focus on movement, and then whittle down the Odyssey class. Targeting things like weapons and engines and stuff, and then worry about the Kraken later. Like everyone target one ship basically. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
The difficulty is
Yeah.
because it's got a. Oh, Jesus Christ!
If you get hit with that
I'm
thing
looking
one
at
time,
its-
you will die. You
Well,
will be
yeah,
killed.
there's kind of no way to not get hit. You will take damage.
That's
Also,
what I'm
looking
saying.
at
Like
power distribution.
evasive actions is going to be a talent or an action that we all are going to be using every time.
Only it changes. the
I'd say
difficulty.
put Velik wherever he's needed most.
So do y'all want it? Do y'all want Velik on the Saber class? Or
Either doesn't matter to me.
okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page because I definitely don't want at the end people to be like, "Oh, you put him there, so that's why we all died."
I doubt I'll be the reason.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we've got our people placed. So now,
All right. So as you guys are walking out of the control room that you just came from, you notice that Tolthi is just sitting there doing nothing with his hands in his knees. He's not crying, but he's like begging for sleep. He's kind of like, in and out, kind of like jolting around like he's about to sleep. Like,
Easy on you, okay?
I probably need some water or some sleep, but yeah, I think I'll be fine. You guys,
still cleaning the pipe?
of course I am, but I have 30 more to go, and then I'm done.
Soth looks visibly concerned, and says, "Of course, you should absolutely obey orders and instructions, but I'm slightly concerned that you're doing this work unsupervised in this state. You're liable to make mistakes, and with what you're doing, a mistake could cause an explosion. Have you alerted your supervisors to your state?"
Honestly, I don't think they care. I got yelled at this morning by both of them. They were very, very upset at me. And so, I bowed down and I took the punishment. But right now, I just don't feel well. I might have to see like a doctor or something because
I
feel like I'm
understand.
about to fall over. And as soon as I say fall over, I fall over.
Right, no, Seth just catches him. This is
Let's
clearly
drop
not on.
him off at the med bay before we get to this simulation.
We also know
Absolutely.
we also know where our medical instructor is, Lieutenant Villar. We could just go back to her.
Possibly, although, Soth will tap his communication badge and effectively get Sharon to medbay.
I would just hope Edgewood take.
Go ahead, Matt.
I hope Edgewood take Verla down to medbay. Okay, let's get him down to medbay. He's not clearly well to do any more work today.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, Soth will alert medbay and effectively say that we have a man here who has collapsed seemingly from fatigue, but that he needs medical assistance.
Just then, up the turbo lift come two security guards. One is a medical security guard and has a med pack with him. I heard you guys just ring. We were actually on our way to see Lieutenant Villar. We'll help you. And they take him. Do you guys all head down to the holodeck number 3?
Yes, but before then, Soth's going to ask that whoever Thiezan's supervisor is be alerted to these events as well.
We'll alert them as soon as possible.
Yeah, no. Soth's going to make a note to ask, or like sniff around with Thiezan afterwards about this, because he's thinking if you punish a guy to the point where you want to run him absolutely ragged, you have him scrubbing the toilets, but you don't put him in a place where if he makes a mistake due to being overtired, people die. That's reckless. Something's off here.
Yes, something is off here. Thank you for catching it.
Actually, even on that point, he'll communicate into the lieutenant that just gave us our brief, and he'll tell them what has happened, because that appears to be their responsible officer for the time being, and he'll express his surprise at the decision that was made. He won't go so far as to openly criticize an officer. He'll just say that he finds it curious, and then let the lieutenant pick up on the implication.
Concern.
Okay, as you guys walk through Quark's bar, you see a Ferengi at the barkeep. Ah, Starfleet! Do you have any gold plus platinum? Do you want a drink? Do you want girls? I have it all.
Heinz just...
We've already got an appointment at the Holler Suite.
Oh, you're the cadets. Well, do you want to play a round of Dabo? Real quick, come on. You probably have time. It's
Gotcha.
on the house.
I'll tell you, Lex, I recommend not. AJ mentions the house always wins.
Infamous, can you bring up the what's it called? The roles if anybody decides to try to play?
Yeah, but is anybody gonna try to play? Because I thought we were heading straight to the Hollow Suite.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. We do not get distracted.
Yeah.
So you actually have like 5 minutes. You guys can totally play if you want to. I'm trying to put this in the game, but you know, you characters do what the fuck they want.
Right. Yeah. No. Heinz is gonna be waiting. I mean, just from someone who's been in the military, if you're 15 minutes early, you're late. So he's gonna go to the door and stand there and wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, Soth's going to do the same thing.
Oh, Lex will actually go in and start basically checking on the controls for the ship he's on.
Oh yeah, if it's already active, then we'll go in, or I'll go in. Heinz will go in.
Yeah.
But if it's just a grid, he'll just wait outside.
Grub will think about buying a jumpster stick, but then she'll just walk into the Hollow Suite as well.
As you guys are waiting, Lieutenant Villar passes through the door. Ah, another Vulcan. Yes. Unfortunately, I have to train some cadets. But I do have some reclamated time at one of the other holosuites. Now, I need to go and activate Theta 2, my project. Well, I guess I will see you later then, Vulcan. Pretty one at that. Ugh. Ferengis. Lieutenant Villar walks over to the holomat holosuite number 3. Cadets, are you ready to go?
As ready as we'll be.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you decided who is going on what ship?
Yes.
Inform him.
Instructor, and then we just let her know.
I stand right next to Velik and go, yes.
All right. I wish you good luck. However, luck is not on your side. Do the best that you ultimately can, and please try to stay out of danger. Lieutenant Villar to holosuite number 3. Please activate Theta 3. So, the cadets are walking in, and each person that is controlling a ship goes into the ship that they're going into. One is on the right, one is in the middle, one is on the left.
I walk to my suite and get into the ship, I guess.
Yep, Heinz walks in and takes a seat at the science console on the Nebula, or I guess it would be Sutherland variant.
AJ walks in and takes his seat.
Velk walks in and takes a look around before going in on his seat. What do I see, by the way, when I walk in? Anything out of the ordinary, let's say?
Oh, there's one thing that we need to establish before we go in, and Soth will bring it up with the captains in air quote, just before they go in. And he says, I'm quite happy to draw straws on this, but which one of us is the Admiral? Because one of us needs to be in charge.
So, since you took the Prometheus class, you are the ship's admiral.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
The biggest ship is. Yeah, you'll be it.
The biggest ship is actually the Civilization now.
It'd be the ship with the best tactical ability, which is the Prometheus.
Actually, no. According to the stats, the ship with the best tactical ability is the Serpent Bandit. It's got a higher rating.
It might have a higher rating, but it can't split into 3 other ships, so that's why I'm going with the Prometheus.
That is true.
True.
Also, I have no idea how that's going to function mechanically. That's going to have to be explained to me.
I do, and that's going to be interesting. I tell you what.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very useful in a tactical situation when you split the ship in 3.
I hope, Edgeford, you like to roll a lot, because I think that's what's coming.
Okay.
I'm guessing
So
that
we
when
actually
it
got
splits,
2 extra.
I'll be in control of the saucer section.
Oh yeah, the Nebula cast can saucer separate. I did forget about that.
So can my ship.
The Prometheus actually splits into 3.
You're gonna be rolling a lot too. Probably not as lot as Edgeford is, but yeah, you're gonna be rolling a lot as well, since you can separate. If and you decide to do that.
What's a wormhole relay system?
It's so you can communicate through the wormhole to other locations and ships on the other side of the wormhole.
Oh, okay.
Lieutenant Villar to cadets. This mission will commence in 30 seconds. Please be aware that if you lose, you will do double duty. If you win, 3 days of... the fuck is it called again?
Shore leave.
Shore leave, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I was looking at my notes. I'm dumb.
Double or nothing, guys.
Heinz looks around to the holograms and then looks to Karava, his captain, kind of nervously, but like kind of rubs his hand together and say, "Okay, let's do this."
Let's win some shore leave.
Okay, so how does
DJ's
combat
excited for
work in this game system?
How does starship combat work in this game system? Because that's different too. But yeah, nah, it. And also, this is weird starship combat because we don't have enough NPCs.
And we're on a holodeck, so really, there's you know, there can be some changes.
In general, the way that starship combat works is that the crew member at a particular post will attempt to do their thing. So, for instance, the person at tactical will roll off of, say, control security to fire phasers. Their roll will be buffed by the ship's stats, off which the ship will roll. If for whatever reason it is a hit, which is based at base difficulty of 2, but it can be modified by whatever the other side is doing and the range and so forth. You then roll a number of damage dice. Each one of those that is successful is applied against the enemy target. Subtract the resistance value of their armor, which in the case of the Kraken is,
High.
I've worked out, well, not just high, but above the maximum value of the damage of one of the weapons that we've got. Like, there are some weapons that are just cannot damage the Kraken. Its resistance, because normally a ship's resistance is equal to its scale, unless it's got something else. The Kraken's resistance is almost double its scale. And then we can get to breaches and so forth when that happens.
Just to give you guys the reason for that. So like all these ships are the actual stats for the ships that are that's now guarding GS1. So them being OP, quote unquote, is not a bad thing for you guys. But the reason why the resistance is so high is because it has neutronium armor, which is actually armor that was reverse engineered from the infamous and basically almost impenetrable, i.e. your weapons probably won't be able to penetrate it. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah. Soth will say, to broadcasting to all 3 ships, chiefly to the captains, my general strategy is to concentrate fire, starting with the lowest scale ship and moving up from there. Hang on, I just have Serpent Bandit. The Prometheus is going to be very vulnerable at close range. You, however, are very able at close range. Your primary task will be to prevent ships getting into close range of the Prometheus and to engage in close range screening. Meanwhile, USS... I'm just going to have to look it up here. I believe it's the Civilization. Yes, USS Civilization. You are also geared for long-range combat, and so we'll shadow the Prometheus and try to keep the Serpent Bandit between you and the opposition.
That's good. Do you want me to scan anything?
Of course, scan chiefly the ship that we will be targeting first. Scan for weak points that will make, and if possible, broadcast those to the other ships. That will make targeted fire against systems more effective. Add a character, it also grants us higher penetration.
Okay.
At this time, the USS Griffin decides to contact the lead ship. USS Griffin to lead ship. Please lower your shields and prepare to surrender.
I think that would be the Serpent Bandit in the 4.
Yep, Mac.
Does
the lead ship.
I thought you were
Yeah.
saying the Prometheus was the lead ship.
Well, okay, do you
Yeah,
mean lead as in
Prometheus is-
charge, or lead as in front?
You're all
No,
in
the lead
same-
ship.
Like you're in a line. Everybody should
Prometheus.
be.
No, that would be Edgeford. Edgeford. Never mind.
Yeah, that'll be Edgewood.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming that there was an element of the brief of like there is no diplomatic way out of this scenario. He'll nonetheless he'll broadcast red alert all stations, and then he'll return. Say something, and this is purely to the bridge crew. Put a targeting lock on their engine systems. Open a channel. And he'll respond and say, "This is the USS Republic to the USS Griffin. We are
Go ahead.
we are on a. Sorry, we have no business with your vessels, and we do not mean to interfere. We shall pass by peaceably. There is no need for combat."
Ha ha ha. You think so. However, you Maquis stole our ships. Now, we're going to take them back. Well, we could do it by force, or, you could just surrender. At this point, my ships are going to be locking on to the lead ship. However, if you do not surrender, we'll destroy our ships and reclamate whatever we can.
He'll cut communications. Oh, actually, no, he won't do that. He'll say, "Give me a few moments to consider my options." He'll then cut communications and say to the bridge crew, "Evasive maneuvers and fire."
All right, and so just so everyone's
get-
aware, because I want to make sure everyone knows this, I placed the enemy ships at long range so that you guys so that we have some time to maneuver and stuff like that. As far as I just wanted you to know, once you know that, so when you say fire, you know which weapons can fire,
Yeah,
and etc.
And is the Griffith the only ship on sensors, or are the other two on sensors?
Unless the GM says they're not on sensors, I'm assuming being at long range, they are just now coming into your sensor range. That's what I'm.
No, the Griffin is visible. All the other ships are visible, but you can't get sensor readings on them. The Griffin is up in front.
Okay.
What is our mission objective here?
Survive.
Well, let's hear from the GM. 'Cause I gather that it's just destroy, but what is the mission objective, GM?
To destroy all combatants However, you can try to manipulate the people. If anybody has like diplomacy as like a trait or whatever.
I absolutely have that. It is one of the reasons why I attempted chit chat in the first place, but I'm getting serious out of character hints that that's not worth doing.
Well,
I
you
think
never
it'd
know
be worth doing.
unless you roll. You never know unless you roll.
You got this, Etred. You can talk your way out of it.
Okay. Well,
Griffin
Captain
to the
Sothel.
Prometheus class ship.
Okay.
I noticed that you cut our communication, so I'm gonna hail you one last time. I'm expecting you to please surrender. We don't need to lose ships here. You can live peacefully, probably on a detention center somewhere. But as far as the Maquis goes, yeah, you guys are criminals. So either drop your shields and let us board, or there's probably going to be some problems.
Okay. Add a character from the brief notes that were given to us, because it was originally pitched as we're Federation against Federation, but that's not what's happening. According to our mission brief, who and what are we?
You are Maquis.
Okay.
That stole ships.
Right.
I know that it's gone, but it's a simulation.
Okay, there's no way that decent Federation officers are just going to let Marquis go.
Or their ships either.
Yeah. What is is this during full-on Dominion War? Is this during the period slightly before when there was tension? Is this just after the treaty? What's the galactic diplomatic situation?
It's accurate to the time that we're in now. So all the stuff is gone, with the exception of it's just a simulation. Maquis has probably been gone for a while. This is just a simulation, I guess.
Okay. So I was thinking, how on earth can I diplomatically say something if there's no galactic context?
I was going to say, which of our ships is the most important?
It's like right when Voyager left, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, Sothel say something along the lines of, I guess it's really hard because I don't know context. From our mission notes with these recently stolen ships, is our crew like a de facto Federation crew? Did we recruit people from elsewhere? Because again, that would factor into how on earth we diplomatize this.
So basically, the Maquis took over the ships, used holograms to subdue all of the people by medical, like stem packs or whatever. And so basically, you're in control of the ships. You're Maquis officers. You're in control of the ships. You're trying to escape Federation space.
Okay. Oh, so our mission isn't destroy, it's escape.
Well, that one didn't come up with the questions, so you don't know that yet.
Okay. Oh, but we were given a brief. Anyway, so...
The brief was to destroy, but if you can convince... Yes, the brief was destroy, but if you can convince one of the other captains of the vessels to come with you, you stand a stronger chance in defeating them.
I'll go for the whole defection plan. Very well. Well, Soft will say something along these lines to the captain of the Griffin, which is, you know that we haven't harmed any Federation personnel. You know that these ships, most of them, were being put to no good use in what they were previously doing. And you know the Federation does have enemies out there, enemies that it is currently refusing to do anything about. We're doing something about it, and we are fulfilling the Federation's ultimate mission by protecting the innocents of this area. You don't want to stand against us. You know in your heart of hearts that the better option is to either support our cause or at least turn a blind eye to it.
Give me a roll. I'm trying to see what roll that is. If you know what the roll is, then please roll it.
Probably Presence Command.
Yeah, roll it. It'll be
What's
opposed.
the... Okay. We have any momentum in the pool?
You used your only momentum. However,
Okay.
Lieutenant Corva has a singular momentum for his roll as well.
Okay, if that's individual momentum, I can't use it. I will consume a point of threat to get a third dice.
Go ahead.
Alright, I do have an applicable foci. There you go. Oh, only the one.
Ooh, well, I rolled double 18s, so you win.
Oh, okay.
So, you're saying you need our help? Or what was it? I'm sorry.
So,
lost.
like, the optimistic bit was should be helping us, but even if you can't bring yourself to help us, turn a blind eye, you can't bring yourself to help us.
I see your quarrel. I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna take a position at the very tippy top. I will not attack you. However, if you decide to fire upon me, I will fight back.
Good. I thank you for your sensible consideration. May our paths cross again at a happier time.
Agreed. For now.
Okay, that was unexpected. Alright.
So, you didn't necessarily make a friend or anything? Like, they're not going to fight for you yet? However, you have the opportunity to ask them later. At this point, hold on a second. Take a look at the character. The Inferno is heading towards you at high, whatever it's called, not warp, but high
Pulse?
impulse. Yeah, high impulse. It is not hailing. It has its shields charged, and it has its phaser banks pointed at. Hold on a second. Which one it is? At the civilization. It's locked onto the civilization. So, civilization, it is your role. It's coming towards you. You can either decide to fire upon it, check back with your superior commander. There's all kinds of options here. So, it's up to you, bud.
Captain, the Inferno is on an attack course with weapons charged. Orders? You there, guy?
Yeah, what? Yeah. When we're rolling?
You're not rolling anything yet. You're being asked for orders. A ship's approaching, locked on, no hail.
Oh, I guess we attempt to hail it. It's responding. I guess I'll scan the ship.
All right. Running a scan, sir. And Hines taps at his console as he scans the ship, possibly for weaknesses or anything out of the ordinary. Let's see. Reason science is standard. We don't have any momentum. We have a.
He has singular momentum, but that's more for ship combat.
Okay. Oh, I do have studious. Plus, well, I don't think the roles come into play just yet. The role benefits. But studious is good. You know what?
Is soil.
You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to look this talent up because I want to use it. It would be good for everybody. So let me see what the exact wording is, because I want to make sure I get it right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that scan, and I'm going to call upon a value to use a determination. And I'm going to use call upon the value control the situation. Basically, I want to scan it to get as much knowledge as I can from the Inferno so that we have more control over the situation. I would like to use computers or perception as a focus. I'm pretty sure perception would qualify even if computers don't. I'll also have studious, so hopefully I don't forget about that. Let me go ahead and roll. Oh, dear Jesus. Really? All that for nothing. But I do have Spirit of Discovery, so... actually, yeah, I used that determination. So I have 2 automatic successes, so I can still roll the ship's assist. Which ship am I? Oh, yeah, the Civilization. So I'm going to roll the ship's assist.
Is the captain going to assist him?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, you can... I think you can direct, which is, I think, what you did. So you can roll command and presence with 1 dice, and that should assist. All right, so the ship assists, so that's 3 successes. Plus, because I used the determination, we have pulled 3 momentum now. So we have a total of 3 successes.
So, with your momentum, with his momentum, it's different because he's the captain. You can use your momentum for other tasks, if that makes sense. I'm not giving everybody just the momentum that they get. It's solitary unless, you want to assist.
We're not doing a group pool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no group pool.
Then I will just keep that 3 momentum for myself and then use it to help as needed.
Did he succeed with his?
No.
No,
okay.
I succeeded in getting 3 successes, though.
So, you see its shields, and you notice where the shield relay system is upon your scans. It has high shields, so it's a good thing to know. Also, you kind of see where the phaser banks are locked onto you. However, you can't determine where exactly that they are pointing at.
So they're locked onto our ship, but we don't know what systems they're locked on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say raise the shields and I'll communicate this to Soft.
Well, Soth, the Republic's already at red alert, so its shields and so forth are all up. But he will attempt to hail the incoming vessel with a... This is the USS Republic to approaching vessel.
No response. All signals have been blocked.
Fair enough. Combat's basically unavoidable. What he'll say is... all ships maintain current distance from foe until otherwise ordered. 2 battle stations. Lock and fire when ready. Aim to disable rather than destroy.
It is actually Mac's turn, and Mac, the Inferno's coming up. You see it on your sensors. You've been acknowledged in all of what's happening right now because everybody else taking it into consideration that you have trilateral communications, so you know what's going on. You can do whatever you want. Your shields are raised, obviously, because it's red alert, and the commanding officer said raise shields.
And basically, he'll go open frequency, and mention that unless we're fired upon, the captain can be court-martialed. He would tell the others, if the captain fires upon us, then he's going to be in trouble for firing upon us first, because it's not Starfleet protocols to fire upon people who aren't firing upon us.
Yeah, but you stole the ships, so your Maquis
people who
officer
refuse.
still.
Yeah, people that
Your
steal ship
criminals.
refuse to surrender as well can also be fired on.
They're just repo men, basically. They're here to collect the ships. If we're on the ships when they do it,
Okay.
oh well.
Yep.
Okay. So he's going to move more closer into range, and he's going to get into close range and fire upon him with his phaser cannon
All right.
to disable the
Currently
Hold on a second.
weapons.
Mac, I can't really hear you. We're cutting out, so
Yeah, also, let me explain the ranges. So, at current, you are at long
It's
range.
harder.
So, you would have to spend, if I remember correctly, at least 2 turns getting closer to the ship.
Yeah, without a roll, that's true.
Before you could fire. Also, and I know I'm metagaming a bit here, but phasers,
Okay,
although phasers...
Also, it's not quite accurate that you can't fire if you're outside of close range. You can, but it's just at negatives. And the negatives get bigger depending on how far out of your ideal range you are. And yeah, you can move one zone per initiative without having to roll. Otherwise, it requires rolls.
And torpedoes would be better for long range than phasers.
That is correct.
I'm gonna use quantum torpedoes at the weapons.
does your ship have like
Better off.
the thing?
What thing?
Hang on a second, guys.
We got fast things.
You got fast targeting, yeah. I'll look up what that does because I can't remember that talent off the top of my head.
And remember, ships have their things. I'm sorry, my wife came in and she was talking to me, so I was kind of like half listening and half not.
Fast targeting system requirements, security 3+. Targeting system can lock weapons on target much faster and more accurately than other ships of its class. The ship does not suffer the normal difficulty increase for targeting a specific system on an enemy ship.
Alright, so with your phase cannons, is cannons 2 or 1 difficulty?
But they're firing torpedoes.
Oh, torpedoes. So that's 3. Let's see. Difficulty 3. Nope, I'm not going to spend any threat. Go ahead and roll. It's going to be opposed.
Oh, you don't have opposed to hit difficulty. It's a flat thing.
Okay, then the flat thing.
Yeah, you're firing at your optimal range, so you're not getting any negatives for that. And I think you said we're doing it off of the captain's stats assisted by the ship?
Yeah, Mac,
yes.
looks like Mac is disconnected, so once Mac gets here, it'll be Mac's command and presence, and then the ship's security and weapons assisted.
Right.
Also, never mind. It's impulse drive. You have to spend momentum, so never mind. They do have the improved impulse drive, but you have to spend momentum. I don't think anyone on that ship has momentum. I can roll for Mac's character because I don't
Okay.
know where she.
I can
Yeah.
roll. Yeah.
And then Edgeford roll the ship.
Okay. Ships always count as having a foci in whatever it is that they're doing, so that's good. Here goes the ship's assist with just the one. That's 3 total, so that is a hit. Assuming the ship didn't do anything interesting like take evasive maneuvers, which I don't think it did.
No, it was heading straight for.
Which would mean... Okay, so that's 4, but she's got various elements that add to that. And got the Kraken, that's got it all. Quantum torpedoes. So vicious 1, which means that turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. High yield and calibrated. I need to look up high yield.
I think high yield, and I'm probably wrong, but I think high yield it just takes longer for them to fix it because it's really damaging or something.
Something like that. Oh, yeah. There's, I think, devastating.
That's devastating.
Something
yeah.
like that.
There's so many, I get them all mixed up.
Which is the difficulty is they're all in different parts of the book.
Oh, by the way, she said her battery died, so she'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Can't find the weapon yield bits. Do you know, GM?
For high yield, where did I see that? I know I saw it somewhere. Let me look in here again. I think actually, yeah, it is in here. High yield, high yield, high yield. Weapon inflicts massive damage to enemy vessels. If the attack inflicts 1 or more breaches to a system, it inflicts 1 additional. No, I don't. I think
An
because
additional breach.
I think because of its resistance being 9, it does not inflict a breach.
Well, if its resistance is 9, that means it does 3 damage, but I don't know how the shields are going to impact on that.
It would just be 3 shields down. Actually, let me check something. It has advanced shields. It might change. Advance F, advance S. It just increases the capacity. So yeah, it still goes down 3. Okay.
So the Inferno decides to fire upon the closest ship, which is Mac's ship, right?
At
It
this
will be.
point,
They're all
yeah.
technically at long range, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to use its phasers. Give me a second here. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Double 20s. So I have an idea of how this is going to play, I guess. Hold on. Just give me a second here. So my phaser gets caught into my deflector array as like a pulse, and it destroys the deflector array. My shields are now at, say, 40%.
Okay. Will it be the civilization up next?
Yes. Civilization, you are up next. You see the Inferno kind of just shoot its phasers, and it just reflected right back into the deflector dish.
So it's attacking us now.
Yes, it has fired unsuccessfully.
Can I move? Can I try and leave its firing range and start shooting at it? I guess is it shooting long range or short range weapons?
Long range. It's
Oh,
firing
okay.
its phaser array.
Oh, okay. I'll go alright. And I don't know. Is any sort of support things I could do to do anything to it, like to help other people?
You could order the con
can-
to move closer, and then roll command presence, and the ship could assist, and we could get a little closer.
I would recommend against that because you're a long range ship. I'd just fire at shield systems, ideally.
Okay. I guess I'll start shooting at shield systems or whatever. Just use my phaser array. I have no idea who's gonna do that though.
I thought phaser rays could only do medium, or am I thinking of torpedoes?
Medium.
They
medium.
they can do medium. They can do long. However, the difficulty just increases by 1 for each range increment they are out of their perfect range.
What if you order saucer separation and we just move to kind of like flank it, to kind of like give it more things to target?
Yeah, okay. I'll do that. Separate the saucer section.
Now let me see what that roll is going to be for the ship. Probably structure and something.
And Edgeford, as you're in command of the fleet, you notice that there is the separation of the saucers. Do you react to that in any way? Because it was not ordered.
It was not ordered. However, people have already gone off their previous orders. He is aware that people are not listening to him. So he will.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's fine.
Wait, what did you want me to do?
It's too late now. You've done it. But
Okay.
he'll note this and think, "Oh, okay, right. We're pitching in then." He'll mechanically. What does the separation do? Does one element of it have one weapon, another element of it have another?
No.
What happens to its resistance, its shields? Its
mechanically, it just duplicates character sheet basically. So we got 2 ships now. I think there's something where it takes. I think it takes the structure in half or something like that, but I don't think it's a lot. Like, I think it's definitely worth having 2 ships for that.
I see. What about the Prometheus's version? Because I'll need to know before I order it to happen.
Yeah, I think that also separates it, the structure into 3. So each structure would have 3, and 1 would have 4.
Okay.
The saucer section would have 4, because it's the biggest part of the ship.
Okay.
But everything else is duplicated, like power and weapons. Everything else is the same.
All right. Well, since separation has occurred, Soth will say, keep one of your sections at long range and engage with torpedoes. The other one can close to medium and engage with the phaser array.
But by the way, Guy or Karaba,
yes, sir.
whichever one, player or character, do you want Hines to be on one of the sections, or do you want to keep him on the bridge with you?
I'll have Hines on one of the sections.
Okay, because he does have a 3 in command, so he would be able to kind of delegate.
Yeah. I delegate one of the sections to Hines. Oh, to Hines. Probably the one where we have to walk over to it or something. I don't know.
You're on the bridge, so I'm on the battle bridge in the secondary hall.
Okay.
Just then, I think
He said just then and silence.
I'm trying to keep up with the ships. It's kind of
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I don't do it often.
Does it take your entire turn to do the saucer separation? Can't do anything else. That's a question. I don't
yeah.
know if it does.
No,
Okay.
it does. It takes the entire turn.
I mean, just watching it on the show, it took a while. I'm surprised they ever did it, just because of how long it took.
Right. So the crack.
Cut out. All we heard was the crack.
Oh, the Kraken is coming up. I'm checking my notes right now. The Kraken is coming up. It is going. It's going to fire on the Prometheus.
Okay. With which weapon?
Phasers. And I got a 12.
Array, bank.
Huh?
An array, a bank, a cannon.
I think it has a raise, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it has a raise. So I got a 12 and a 13.
I don't know what your stats are, but it's difficulty 3 at this range.
Yes. I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Unless
somebody
Say 12 and a
yeah, if difficulty 3, you could possibly have gotten 2 successes, so either way you would have failed. Basically, the phaser beam just goes wide and misses by like several ship lengths. Probably.
It corners the shields and just kind of like reflects off and bounces away.
Yep.
So that leaves Edgeford. Your turn.
Okay, since we know saucer separation takes a turn and it basically triples the ship, Soth will give the order as he sees this new vessel approaching and not wanting all of his eggs in one easily destructible basket. He will say, commence multi-vector attack program, essentially split the ship up.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. I'm guessing this was from the ship. I'm guessing it's engines con or structure con?
Structure engineering.
Structure engine.
Unless you're trying to do
okay.
a maneuver while you're doing it.
No. Oh, I'll take that. So there's the one dice in the ship, and from Soft, it will be. I have no idea what the difficulty is.
I'll look.
Oh,
I'll look it
difficulty 2, I think.
Okay,
I'm pretty
difficulty 2. He has an applicable die. Fine. We generate a momentum and succeed. 3 successes in all.
You get a momentum. That's a solitary momentum for you. Everybody else has their own momentum.
I'll now see if I can clone the ship.
So you succeed. Let's see.
Sorry about that. I copied it as soon as you did.
Yeah. And it does it go into 3? I forget the Prometheus.
Yeah, so you should be good now.
Okay, cool.
All right. So.
And by the way, unlike mine, I would keep your con officer on yours.
Yeah.
The Inferno is going to attack the Prometheus's saucer section.
That's you.
All right.
Well, I got a 1 and a 19, so I got 1 success, 2 successes.
2 successes. Was that with a phaser again?
Yes.
Yes. Difficulty 3.
Yep, you're still at long range.
Then I did not succeed.
I think that takes us back to the Serpent Bandit.
By
Hey,
the way,
Mac, you there yet?
the Inferno will be in medium range on your next turn, GM. And no, Mac isn't back yet. What in the world? I'll go check, see what's up. Oh, it says she can't join on phone for some reason. Do y'all want to try to go to voice chat? But she's not even on anymore. Oh wait, yeah, she just came back online. Hold on, let me see what she says. She might be able to get on voice chat. For some reason, it's not letting her back on the streaming one.
Ask her if she has multiple windows open on her phone, because sometimes that really bogs down everything I do.
I just thought she was going to plug her laptop in. That's what I would do. I mean, then again, I don't go anywhere without, a charged laptop. So.
My fucking laptop is a paperweight.
Yeah, mine is too. But back when I had one, I had it plugged in 100% of the time. Like, I unplugged it to go somewhere, and then when I got there, I plugged it back in. It was the only time it was ever not 100% was when I was sitting in my car using it. So I thought she was at home.
Well, I could come back to her and give it to Lieutenant.
Velik could scan like
Yeah,
I did.
Velik can take the lead.
Because my scan, basically what my scan did is made the difficulty to target systems drop by 1. So I highly suggest he does the same.
True. Velik, it's up to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually just out of character because we are nearing the end, and do we want to do this now or maybe wait until the next session?
I'm going to try to finish it up right now.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
It might go on until 45 after, but I'm trying to do it now.
Something juicy planned, so it's cool.
Yeah, I think I only have like 15 minutes in me because otherwise, I gotta go sleep and stuff like that. I live in Europe, so it's a different time zone.
I am actually. I can't go long, but yeah, to me. But yeah.
All right. Let's see. So it's
reason science.
7.
And then I'll roll for the ship for the Serpent Bandit.
Right.
So that you can focus on yours.
And let's see, which stats are we rolling? It's just a scan thing, right?
Yep, just a scan for weaknesses, etc.
Yeah. Only I think a difficulty 2 reason science.
Right.
Oh shit! I forgot what I think I scanned like shield deflector or something, shield emitters.
You did, yeah.
Okay, good. That's what we'll target then.
Okay. I will also use a value for determination point. It's called hidden obscure knowledge, and I think this scan could be applicable here. So with that value.
Sure. I'll allow.
Nice.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's a 1 plus 2. That's 3.
So you successfully.
Sorry, ship rolled as well. Ship rolled 1, so that's 4. Sorry. Yeah.
So you take out its shields, and as the phaser or whatever you were attacking with, it scorches the topmost part of the ship, cutting it literally in a third.
Oof.
Oh my word!
It has no weapons, and the atmosphere is falling in the ship.
Heinz makes a note to check the holodeck transceivers because that doesn't make sense to him. Like, did they plan that?
Yeah, to Soth's mind, that's a bit like immediately under the outermost layer of armor hull was a bunch of exploding red barrels. It was just because, wow, that went up easy.
Yeah.
So they had deuterium canisters in the upmost part, in the saucer section. So it did went up like a ball of flame.
All right. Well, in this case, I will also, I guess,
Like an
through
inferno.
AJ. Let's say AJ is ordering right now, but basically through me. I'll also make sure to probably like transport anyone who's in range and teleport them from the ship. Anyone who has life signs still, and
I should stress that if you do that, you have to take your shields down, and the Kraken could blow you out of the water.
Yeah.
Don't lower your shields.
I mean that was kind of unexpected, honestly. I guess from Velk's viewpoint, he didn't expect that kind of stuff to
So
happen.
on that theme, like the next captain
His
to go,
shields
which I think
was
is going to be
almost gone
Karava, should
anyway.
definitely invite them to surrender.
Right.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll try and do that. Send a hailing thing and say don't surrender.
Ah! You destroy.
Oh, you might want to repeat that. You cut out again.
You destroyed half my.
Cut out again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You destroyed half my decks. Now, you want to communicate. I said lower your shields, and you've lowered mine. Now what?
I just said surrender, please.
I don't
Well,
think
it's
so.
very- Oh, okay. It's also very strange. He
what?
says, "I told you to surrender." We tried hailing him several times, and it did not work. So,
Yeah.
This is coming from the other ship. The other ship said to surrender. It's the one. The captain is the commander of this ship. You find out that like this ship is like the forward ship of the fleet.
Okay.
Like,
Can we just beam the enemy crew into the brig or something?
no, don't. You'll have to lower your shields, and the Kraken
Lower
will
shields,
obliterate
yeah.
you.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Can we just can we take out the weapon systems?
You can try. It'll be opposed.
Oh, okay.
Is
and
the ship that...
shoot.
Actually,
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
deal with it afterwards. Carry on. You carry on, Karava.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are they a threat to
ship
us
is
now?
disabled. The ship is disabled. They still have forward phasers.
Oh, okay. I think can we just leave? Right? I mean, do we need to deal with them anymore?
Well, the Kraken is still combat capable, and it's as fast as us.
Oh, okay. I guess we should take out the phaser banks on the ship we just disabled, and then focus on the Kraken.
Absolutely. If the Inferno refuses to surrender,
The Inferno is now headed on a collision course with your ship.
Jeez Louise.
it's a very, very long way away. You can get you said it's disabled, so I'm guessing it doesn't have engines. It's working on momentum. Is that correct?
Yes, just momentum alone.
Oh yeah, you could move like slightly to the left and you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just.
At these kinds of interstellar distances, half a degree is tens of thousands of kilometers.
Oh,
Just avoid the ship, I guess, or the crew, and take out the phaser. Take out their phaser banks.
Well, you can choose one or the other. You can either fire or get out of the way.
Will it hit me the next turn?
Probably not. It's kind of far away.
Okay, I'll just take out the phaser banks then.
Also, remember, you've got 2 ships. So one,
Ah.
because it's not going to hit both of them. So one can get out the way, the other can fire.
Okay, yeah.
It can't be on collision course with both.
I'll tell Heinz to get out of the way, and I'll fire.
Assuming it's on a collision course with the Heinz ship.
Yes, with the saucer
Yeah.
section.
Okay, cool.
Alright,
So, yeah.
Captain, moving out the way.
And I will fire on the ship, primarily on the weapons bank, so it can't do any more bad stuff.
All right. Give me a roll. It's going to be difficulty 2, right? I think.
If you're firing at medium range, yes.
Okay. Yeah, difficulty 2.
Weapons and security?
1 dice from that, yeah, and then your presence and command.
Okay.
And
So
just
3 die.
and just so y'all know, next turn it will be in close range.
Okay.
Oh, when it next acts, but yeah, stuff.
I get 3 successes?
You did.
Mhm.
So
And
that'll be a hit and a momentum.
And I got no successes, so I guess my ship's just kind of drifting.
Heinz, I said, out the way!
It's harder than it looks, sir.
You'll get there. I believe in you, Heinz.
You manage to cut off one of the nacelles. It explodes next to the ship, and it's sending the ship hurling towards the Prometheus saucer section.
What? It didn't even.
Wait, so is his phaser banks damaged now?
Like, we didn't aim at the nacelles, and not a complication or anything.
No, I rolled really, really well. I rolled a 1 and a 2. Sorry, I didn't explain that.
What were you rolling for?
To try to see if I can dodge out of the way.
It doesn't have engines.
That's not how that. Oh, one, it doesn't have engines, but also it's not an opposed roll. If you want to dodge out the way, you use I apologize. I'm sounding a bit firm. I shouldn't. But you'd use evasive maneuvers. That makes the difficulty higher. So it would go from a difficulty 2 to a difficulty 3, or potentially more.
Yeah.
You don't do an opposed roll?
See, I'm trying to figure this out myself. Like, I've been reading and watching videos, and I still don't get ship combat. My fucking bad.
I mean, it's fine because, like I said,
Yeah.
it's not the easiest. I mean, there's some things about it that I just don't know how they did what they did, but
We're working it out. It's fine.
yeah. Anyway, so we'll just say it's spinning out of control, and then because I think it's Edgeford's turn anyway, so you can easily just move out of the way.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So what I was going to say is, since the the Kraken is still approaching, because the Inferno is now combat incapable. We don't need to worry about it. What Soth's orders will be: all Vexalations keep current distance with the Kraken. As it approaches, back off to maintain a constant distance. Engage in evasive maneuvers. All Vexalations fire quantum torpedoes at their engines. Actually, no, not at engines. He's not going to target any specific system. That would make things difficult. All Vexalations fire quantum torpedoes.
All right, give me a roll. I'm going to spend threat. This is a 3 difficulty. I'm going to make it a 4 difficulty.
Sure. So I've got 1 momentum. Unfortunately, I don't think 1 momentum can apply to all 3 ships. There's a disadvantage with spinning up.
So the way I recommend you do this is, since you are commanding 3 ships, is your base roll will apply, but each of the third ship, because technically they're supposed to be duplicated character sheets, they'll just roll their assists 3 times. And if they don't succeed, they don't succeed. If they succeed, then great. Also, when do you want the con officer to roll? Because he's got to be the one to get out of the way while you're firing.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, you can go first. Mechanically, it doesn't make much of a difference. You can do evasive maneuvers now. It will be absolutely fine.
Okay, so want me to roll?
It would be control con.
Okay.
Okay, I rolled all the ship assists.
Very, very even.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Oh, fantastic. So that generates some extra momentum, and the difficulty to hit us goes up by, I believe, 1 in the next round.
It is personal momentum, but yes.
Okay, I am going... alas. I'm not...
How much momentum does that build? Does that produce?
It would be 2.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to consume... or give you a point of threat. No, actually I won't do that. I'll consume my momentum. I'm so in my security standpoint, I keep forgetting I'm rolling off command, not security. So yeah, I'll consume my 1 point of momentum to roll 3 dice.
Also, for those of you who have personal momentum, in case you don't know, there's a place on your character sheet you can keep track of it. Because if you still have it at the end of this session, I'm going to say you can keep it to the next session.
Fantastic. That means that we hit everything. All of the torpedoes hit with 4 successes total. So 3 loads of quantum torpedoes will impact on the Kraken.
Yeah, I'll let you roll all
damage.
3 damage.
Sad damage. So combined, and I don't know if you want them separately or if you want them combined. But
combined would be good.
Excellent. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 7, 9, 15, 16, 17, 20, 23, 25. So that's 25 points of damage.
Oh, fuck.
That's 25 points of damage, and it is high yield, so I do more if it's breaches, but I don't think I'll have caused... I might have caused a breach, I don't know. And yeah.
The Kraken has 3 shields left.
Ooh! So excellent. We're at long range, evasive maneuvers, and severely damage their shields. That was a good round.
So the Kraken is going to let loose its phaser banks. It's going to attack Mac's vessel.
All right.
So if somebody could roll for max vessel, I will be rolling for this.
I did take evasive maneuvers or anything, so if it's moved into a closer range bracket, so it would be difficulty 2.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, dude. 18 and 19.
Yeah.
Max got the luck of the Irish.
Honestly, I don't know what that does, but that was my roll for the ship.
Just miss, basically.
It just like shatters the atmosphere around the ships. Like, oh, is that a warning shot?
Hey, look, space is big and these ships are relatively small, so it makes sense.
Indeed.
Is it Max ship's turn or yeah?
It would be Max ship's turn now, yeah.
Velik, what do you want to do? Because I'm just gonna say that you're in charge of the ship now since Mac's not coming back.
Yeah. All right. The Kraken is the only one left, right?
Correct.
Not necessarily. The other one.
Well, the
As
only
in
one
the Griffin.
capable of
The Griffin has backed
Oh.
off.
Yeah, the Griffin's backed off. If we don't shoot at it, it won't shoot at us, we hope. And the Inferno is...
Okay, and the orders are still standing, right? Same orders. They haven't changed or anything.
No,
From you,
yeah,
that
the
is,
orders.
H4.
Yeah, the orders were the same, which is to try and maintain constant distance and engage with the weapons.
Okay. Right. I'll target, or I let the ship target the. It is getting close to us, isn't it?
It's at medium range to you.
Yeah, but next turn it will probably be. No, I don't
Probably
think
will,
it'll be
and
close,
if you don't back off, yeah.
Yeah.
The Odyssey
Because I
class
was-
is actually close range to you. The Kraken is medium range because you're. So where I put the labels, that's from where your starting position is. So if you just move the label forward, then you would see that it's basically where the Odyssey
right.
is.
But you don't need to worry about the Odyssey. It's drifting in
basically
space.
floating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's aim for the quantum torpedoes of the Kraken, and that's basically the
Difficulty
shot.
is going to be 3.
And I'll fire from me, and I guess someone can fire the ship. I mean, I'll roll for myself, and someone can.
Yeah, I'll get the ship.
Oh, okay.
What role would this be? It won't be science, right? It would be something else.
No, it would. If you're acting in a command role, it would be presence command. If you're acting
Right.
in your security, actually manning the guns role, it's control security.
For instance, it's just going to be control security.
Okay. Right. I'm trying to see if I can get some talents. No, I don't think so. All right. That's 2.
Total
And
of 3,
ship
that's a
one?
hit.
That's it. Towards the quantum
Now-
torpedoes.
It's 10 damage.
Nice.
Jeez, the shields are down!
No, because it has a resistance of 11.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Ah, okay.
But how much resistance has been taken down so far?
Resistance,
None,
it's very
because
almost never taken down.
Yeah, the resistance is basically the ship itself plus whatever armor it has, and then you work on getting the shields down first. So if they had gotten more than the resistance allotted and the level of shields, then they would have started doing breaches to the actual hull and everything like that. But they didn't even basically. Even if this ship did not have shields, it wouldn't have penetrated it, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right.
And I assume I don't have a movement action or anything like that?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, do we? Okay.
I'll let the
In that
ship as a
case.
whole does.
Right. Yeah, I figured you either shoot or move. But if the ship can do both, then yeah, we'll move back. Maintain distance to like medium or further range, I guess, further than medium.
You come join the rest of us. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. Why not?
So the Kraken's aft phaser banks is going to lock on to the
Oh no.
Onto the what?
Griffin,
Griffin.
I'm guessing.
the Griffin.
Oh! He's shooting the cowardly deserters.
I was wondering about that
Yes.
a few minutes ago. I was like, I wonder how they're going to react to that.
Hold on a second. Let me see the roll. Oh, 13 and 20. One success and one critical fail.
You target a 2, so you miss.
Overload the rear phaser banks.
So the rear phaser banks are offline. Now it is time for the Griffin to either attack or communicate with you. I'm going to roll a d6, and it was a 6, so it's going to attack the vessel.
Oh, it's brave.
And the bravery paid off, a 4 and a 1.
It hits. What's its damage?
Probably negligible.
How many? How much damage can I? Or what do I roll for damage? I mean, sorry.
I can get into it. Cheat. So if you're firing with phasers or quantum torpedoes. Oh, it's already been done.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Phaser array. So you did. That's fine. The array, so it doesn't have any special stuff like vicious. So that's just 3. That's just 6 points of damage. It doesn't get past the resistance.
Yeah, even if it was a torpedo, it'd be 10, so it still wouldn't get past the resistance.
Yeah. It comes to my turn. I have a cunning plan. Well, it's not cunning.
Okay, Baldric.
But it's a plan.
A plan is a plan. Let's hear it.
Yep, it's definitely not cunning. Effectively, what it is it seems like the Kraken's about. Sorry, not the Kraken. The Republic is the only thing that can get past the Kraken's shields reliably. So to give it another wham, which will almost certainly not destroy it, but which will likely cause a breach, and then hail them in a case of one of your ships has turned on you, one of your ships is destroyed. We're entirely intact and you're taking hull damage. I invite you to retreat and save your lives. That kind of affair.
Well, I've got a dumb question. Can one of the science people, find a weak point in the armor? No. On the nacelles, the deflector dish.
That's what me and
Yeah.
Bellic did. That's why it was easier to attack it and do damage earlier when we
Yeah.
attacked.
Mechanically, there are 2 ways that sensors can help with that. The first is by targeting a specific system, which means that you ignore the difficulty increase for targeting that specific system. The second is to do exactly what you were talking about, which is find armor weaknesses, and it increases the penetration value of your weapons by at least 1. And penetration, which most weapons have penetration 0, but then be turning them into penetration 1, 2, whatever it may be. And penetration is how many points of resistance you ignore.
Do we have?
So could
So
someone
that's
do
exactly-
that?
So you said that was for. So you could roll sensors to basically get a penetration of 1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think it can be. You can get more than 1 penetration value depending on how you do it, and I think it's got something to do with momentum spend. But I'm now looking it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should do that then. Because I was just
It
trying
is
to lower the
momentum.
difficulty when I was doing it.
Mm.
But now that we know that the resistance on this one ship is crazy, yeah, we should do the second thing.
Yeah, because the Civilization has the high resolution sensors and advanced sensor suite, so that should be able to hopefully find a weak point. If any
I
of our
believe
ships
so.
can.
Can you use my ship to scan it, I guess?
Go ahead, use a sensor
Okay,
speed.
here we go. I'm going to read I'm going to read the entry in the rulebook. It's page 223. Scan for weakness. The sensor operator scans an enemy vessel looking for vulnerabilities or attempting to gain some other advantage. The sensor operator chooses a single target and attempts a control plus science task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by sensor security from the ship. This task increases in difficulty by 1 for each range category beyond close. If this succeeds, then the vessel's next attack, or the end of the operator's turn, gains the Piercing 2 quality, ignoring 2 of the target's resistance per effect rolled. Further, if any bonus d20s are purchased for that next attack, it inflicts an additional damage for each bonus purchased. So let's say you rolled a bunch of dice and 5 of them came up with the effects. The little Star Trek badge would ignore 2 points of resistance for each effect, so you'd ignore 10 points of resistance. It's good, do it.
But which
Only
ship's
difficulty
turn
is-
is it?
It is... I think it's currently Karava's ship's turn.
I believe so.
Karava,
Yep. Say that again.
it's your turn.
Oh, yeah. So, I can. Do the sensor scan, I guess.
Yeah, so excellent. That's going to be, well, presence command from you, because we're not doing dual officers.
From the ship.
And
And...
sensor security from the ship.
Yeah.
It's going to be at difficulty
Oh, security.
3.
1. Oh, I thought it was 1.
It's security.
It's 1 if they're in close range.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's 1 at close range, 2 at medium, 3 at long. That's the difficulty, and it's control plus science from the crew member, but we're not doing that because this is a strange session. And then from the ship, it's sensors security.
Okay, I got a complication.
Yeah, but my first one was a 7. I say we go with the 7.
go with 7.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, that'll still be a fail at this long range.
So the energy blast only minorly affects the shields, not so much that it's only 0.1%. So I guess it's my turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My ship is going to attack the Prometheus bottom nacelles. Oh, I got a 3 and a 16. So a success and a fail.
And that'll miss because it's difficulty 4 to hit us at the moment.
So it just screams by everybody.
Soth will say something along the lines of, "Well done on those evasive maneuvers, Helm."
Thank you.
And now it's our turn.
It is.
Yeah. Are we saying that the captain can only do one action? Because after all, he is just one person. He can't do loads of different stuff for the bridge crew that are just holograms.
As for your character, you can order people, but you have one action after ordering people.
You can also
Okay.
override. So there's a task called override where, like, you want to shove the tactical officer aside. You could go ahead and do that.
Okay. So Soth will order Helm, continue to perform evasive maneuvers and maintain current distance from the Kraken. Sensors, scan for weaknesses. I want to be able to get past their armor. Tactical, after sensors have done their work, all 3 vexellations, fire quantum torpedoes.
In unison, all the other NPCs say, "Aye, Captain."
Excellent.
And I will use 1 momentum for this evasion. That drops me down to 1 spare momentum right now.
Excellent. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's going to succeed. I'll roll for the ship in the background. Yeah, we're fine. We succeed.
Do I build any
So
momentum
excellent.
from that?
You build 1 because it's normally a difficulty 2. Got
Okay.
3 successes.
I'm back up to 2 momentum.
Fantastic. I'll now do the sensors security for the scan for the ship. It's 1 success from the ship. And will we do the sensor roll off of the captain's presence command, like we were for the firing?
Yes.
Okay. That's 3, which is the necessary difficulty because it's at long range. We have got piercing 2 on our weapons.
Nice.
Alright, Soth, at the risk of doing terrible things, thank you, by the way, Infamous, for reminding me of the override thing. He's going to override, go to tactical, and do the shooty shoots himself,
Nice.
because he's got the skills for this. He will...
Can I provide a momentum for him?
On your turn.
You can also give threat if he needs it.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I've got no momentum, but I'm going to give... This is important. I'm going to give 2 points of threat, which takes me up to 4 dice. And... Yes, the other stuff is all talents. So here we go. It's difficulty. Okay, so that will hit, but let's just see what the public does in the background. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to use one of my talents, the Legion of Honor, to just buy off that complication. It didn't happen.
Nice.
It's gone away. So
Nice.
we hit. It is now time for... Actually, no. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm correct. It did because that was the ship's roll, not mine, so I can't re-roll it. Yeah, it just didn't happen. I'm now going to roll the damage. This is going to be interesting.
Mm.
All right. Do you want them combined or divvied out?
Combined.
Okay, combined it will be. Okay, so it's going to be 32 points of damage with penetration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. 18. So I ignore 18 resistance and do 35 damage.
The ship is
guess you found the
destroyed,
weak
I
point.
believe. I'm pretty sure the ship is destroyed.
It doesn't automatically destroy it. It will inflict, however, a rather large number of hull breaches that will start knocking out vital systems pretty quickly. So it's probably not like kaboom, but it's probably very heavily damaged.
I think it needs the amount of scale breaches to destroy it, right? Like its scale is 6, so it needs 6 breaches, right? For the structure.
I think.
Or the engines.
Hang on, I'm going to go to that. Yeah. The
one thing I will say for ship combat and as NPC ship combat is, regardless of anything, if you get the amount of scale to the breaches, like if it's scale 6 and you get 6 breaches, no matter where it is, even if it's all in the computers, it destroys the ship.
So, okay, so page 227 of the rulebook. So if a system has suffered a number of breaches equal to or greater than half the ship's scale, then it's damaged. If it has suffered a number of breaches equal to or greater than the whole of the ship's scale, then it is equal to, it's disabled. And if it's suffered more, then it's destroyed. So, how many ship systems are there? There are, I think, 6 systems.
Yeah.
It's a scale 6, so it would need. It would need 36 breaches for every single component to be destroyed. There is, however, a cheat, which is if for whatever reason you do more breaches to the engine compartment than ship structure, it can cause a warp core breach, and that can just be poof.
Didn't you get... Yeah. What was the difficulty to hit the ship? Was it 3? Or was it 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3.
I was going to say, if it was one more, you could have just said you were targeting the engines.
Yeah, alas. So, I did 35 damage, which in theory is enough to cause a maximum of 35 breaches. Probably not. And the ship has got 36 breaches to destruction, so it's like 1 breach away from blowing up under normal rules. Soth will definitely, after the sheer amount of devastation, assuming it doesn't just implode, hail them and say, well, I'll enact the previous plan, which is, your ship is disabled, the Inferno is disabled, and the Griffin has turned against you. I invite you and your crew to surrender, and you will be treated well.
Agreed! Beam us out of here before the warp! And it cuts out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, right. Stop doing that.
Can we? Yeah, let's just say we start beaming people over.
Yeah. General order, permission to lower shields and start beaming.
And make sure no one's in the way of that spinning Odyssey class. It's just,
Lieutenant Villar to all cadets. Thank you for playing this game. You have won 3 days of whatever the hell it's called.
Shore leave.
I can't remember now.
Shore leave.
Shore leave.
Shore leave. Yeah. Sorry about that.
You're good.
You have won 3 days of shore leave. Please proceed to your designated coordinates. She posts a thing in God damn it, hold on a second.
Just, hey, Edgeford, at some point, but before the game that you're going to GM in 2 weeks, I have an idea for it. If you want to get together with me on voice chat, then we can talk about it.
Sure thing.
If you have an idea, also that takes priority, obviously. But like ever since this game started, this session, I was like, ooh, what if this happened? What if that happened? So I just want to compare notes and shoot shit back and forth and see what we come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. I had an idea, but I'm very happy to take notes or be guided. So yeah.
Okay.
I guess as we're leaving the Hollow Suite, I'm gonna say Craft will want to go check out that guy who was like, who was like really exhausted. See how he's doing.
He's actually in his quarters. However, as you guys exit, a lone Ferengi says,
So, how was your Hollow Suite adventure?
My time is short. However, if you would like to play a round of Dabo, it is on the house. Whatever gold pressed latinum you will receive will be yours.
Heinz just says, "Can we shoot him?"
Shoot! Shoot! Haha! No. I'm your friend here. Please play a round of Dabo.
Can I just get 2 Jumja sticks instead, please?
Is there a role for that, Infamous?
What, to pick up Jumja sticks?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, like, to play it, I guess? I don't know.
I mean, it's just you just go to a kiosk and order some candy, basically. So, not really.
Oh, I have no idea what the fuck it is.
Okay.
I thought it was a game.
No, Jumja sticks is a Bajoran candy. But, yeah, I don't think anyone wants to play Dabo.
We're in no mood for your gambling.
I think our characters are sick of games.
Well, next time, perhaps. Like I said, it is on the house.
Very well. Soth will turn to the whole team, though, before everybody disperses, and say was the effect of, well, very well done, everybody. I was significantly more concerned about this particular mission when I learned the class of ships that we were up against, but you all handled yourselves very well.
Heinz puts up a hand and he says, I'm actually more concerned, because we did defeat those ships, and those are supposed to be the best ships in the fleet. If we can do it, I'm worried about who else can do it.
Soth nods his head. That is a very valid concern. I think that there were some errors in the simulation that worked in our favour. However,
complications,
I will be going
as
through...
you might say.
Indeed. However, I will be going through, with the instructor's permission, the data from this exercise and comparing it against my own notes and writings on the subject, either to learn about the weaknesses in ships or improve the simulation, depending on whether or not it was as accurate as it perhaps might have been.
Just then, Lieutenant Villar comes in through the doorway. Ah, congratulations, cadets. You have won. You get 3 days of whatever the hell it's called. Sorry, my brain is not braining right now.
Shore leave.
Shore leave. I expect you to have a good time. Reflect on your decisions today, because one day it may become necessary for you to reflect on those decisions that you've made. You've done the Federation proud, and thank you.
Thank you, Instructor. I'd be grateful to receive the technical data from this exercise, if I may, so I can study it in my spare time.
Ah, yes you may. Here's a datapad.
Thank you. And yeah, considering he literally wrote a book on this, he's already going into a like how this might affect theories. His leading theory is the simulation was wrong, but hey, if the simulation was right and the ships really do have those problems and/or strengths, then things need to be done.
I doubt the Odyssey class carries deuterium ore in its upper decks all the time. Heinz says.
Also, I think we benefited a weirdly large amount by, particularly with the Prometheus, and this is our character, when it split up, being able to combine its proton or quantum torpedo attacks rather than resolve each one of them separately. Would still be ridiculously powerful if you resolved each one of them separately, but by combining them, dear God.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, with that particular class, the saucer section only had access to the phaser banks, and the two nacelle sections had access to the torpedoes. The weapons were actually split between the sections as well.
Yeah, and I think as well when it comes to saucer separation, I'm going to have to reread the rules because I don't know if like doubling the weapons or tripling the weapons. But yeah, I'm going to reread the rules on that.
Yeah, because like with the Enterprise, when it split, the saucer only had access to the beam array. But the battle section, which had the warp core and everything, had access to the torpedoes and I believe a single forward-facing beam, not turret.
No, a forward-facing phaser array.
Yeah, but it didn't have the phaser strips on the engineering section. It just had like single point laser phaser array.
Also, it wasn't structure that is removed. It was scale, which makes more sense. Basically, just go down one scale. And let's see. Actually, that was saucer section. Where is the other one? But anyway, I'm unless GM, unless you have anything, I'm about tapped out right now. So I put
Yeah, I'm tapped out. I just want to say I'm sorry if this shit didn't make any sense.
Nah,
I'm
man,
still learning.
It's all good. That's why I made this the Starfleet Academy game. But I also put the Academy Wargames Award down for everyone. So basically, at any time, once per session, you can re-roll Insight Security Task Roll when observing, basically doing anything involving tactics or combat strategy. So everyone, just go ahead, instead of reputation and instead of milestones, I'm just going to give you everybody that talent for free. So.
Wait, what is it?
Edward had milestones, so that's kind of unfair. He did use the
for
determination.
Yeah. So okay. So if you spent a determination or got injured, which no one should have got injured, but if you spent a determination, go ahead and get a normal milestone. But for reputation, I also will be getting with everyone individually about the reputation because we've gotten into the point of the story where various instructors are observing you guys at different times for different reasons. Some of you for command school, some of you for the Starfleet Marines and other things like that. So your reputation is no longer just regular reputation like we've been doing. It's pretty much specific to your character. So I will be getting with everybody individually from now on in the academy about the reputation.
Also, I just very quickly checked the source of separation rules on page 257. There are other little things that should shift, but weirdly, rules as written, the weapons are replicated in full across every one of the bits.
Yeah, it's funny.
That needs to be nerfed.
Yeah, that sounds kind of busted.
Okay.
Alright, so where do I put this Academy